You're watching WGBS News Metropolis.
Ethan, how do you like working on the thing?
Oh, I love it. I'm having a great time. It's the book that I pestered you for 3 years.
This is the truth. Okay, go ahead. Let's give the background story on this.
Yeah. Well, I always thought, I love Barry Allen. I love The Flash. The Flash is probably my favorite superhero in the DCU. And Barry Allen's absence, he'd been gone for 25 years, something like that, and I thought that was a pretty fair homage to pay for Crisis. But it was time to bring him back. And Jeff and I, when we finally convinced Dan to let us do it, we built a huge, gigantic story that really needed every single Flash piece, some that had been missing, in order for it to work. So Flash Rebirth is part one of that. It's assembling all of the pieces, putting them back where we need them to be, and then explaining one little segment of what the Speed Force is. Because again, Jeff is only giving you a taste of what it is. It's so much more broad. Professor Zoom ties into it big time, and it's going to lead to a long and fruitful and very successful Flash ongoing series after this.
We're going to see multiple Flash cores.
No. I saw him use the sea of red, and I was like, no, don't use that word. But no, the negative Speed Force is a concept that we came up with right away, and we hinted with it on the cover of Flash Rebirth #2. If you look at the little film strip, the negative side of the film strip is, now we know, Professor Zoom coming at the Flashes, which is something that we just kind of slid by you. Nobody noticed it. But yeah, the negative Speed Force is much, much different than the positive Speed Force, and you're going to see what its effects are. And also, you're going to see in issue 5 and 6 what the effects of the positive Speed Force are.
Yeah.
New stuff that'll explain a lot of visuals that in the early issues of Flash that confuse some people. Yeah, You'll see. Have to be very
I was going to say, from our standpoint, from the DC side of the Flash, we've got 5 really strong characters. I always say, you got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern, and those are the characters we like to focus on. And with Flash in particular, Flash was one of my personal favorites. Barry Allen's one of my personal favorites. I've never hidden that fact. And for me personally, you know what? We had, coming out of Infinite Crisis, such great momentum for the Flash, and we squandered it. It went away pretty fast, as did Bart Allen as the Flash, which I still think was a pretty good idea.
But how great is it to see Bart Allen again with big feet, big hair, big eyes, and with his friend Max? That just warms my heart. Yeah. I started on Impulse.
Yeah, I know.
My son was born at the time when I got my first job at DC, so I fed my family drawing Impulse, drawing Bart Allen as a young husband. So getting to draw Bart and Max together again, the look on Bart's face in issue #4 was the look on my face when I drew it. I was so happy.
But and for me, you know what? It's the launch of Flash Rebirth and how it's been embraced and how well it's done for us gives me a lot of hope and gets me excited, because it shows us that we're back on track again, and more importantly, people are really embracing Barry Allen back in the role of Flash again. Anybody else for Flash? Nope.
Yeah, well, the other Flashes from the other universes and the future. What are you going to play that?
I think
the multiverse. Like they had in regards to Flash and the other Flashes from the other.
Yeah, what I really want to do is I want to focus. We got Barry back. This was a big deal for us, and I'm afraid that if you focus on the other multiverses, it makes them less unique. The fact of the matter is that we brought Barry back for a reason. So if we're going to do that, the last thing I want to do is go to other universes and other worlds and get other interpretations of that character. We want to embrace him and make him feel important and make him be the lead Flash again, because I think that's what it should be. Okay, next one, right over there.
Jesse Quick and Rick Tyler.
Yes.
What I love. Just that one panel in the last issue with them being, it was fantastic.
Wait till you see Jesse in issue 5. You'll stand up and cheer.
Yeah.
She's got a big scene.
Yeah. We're actually exploring more about those two. We think it could be one of the more fun DC couples that are coming out here right now.
I see them as kind of the replacement of Ralph and Sue.
That's sweet.
You know what? Honestly, you're on the money. On the money. That's really good. Right over there, sir. Yep.
Just a quick question. At San Diego, you rolled out the announcement for Bart getting his own ongoing book again. Made a lot of people really happy. Could you possibly drop a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's going to come out on a monthly basis. Next question, right over there.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, this is the man responsible, so he's the one. If there's any problems, call him.
So
Anyway.
this is a way of saying I'm not going to be the artist on Kid Flash. Gotcha.
Oh, I hope so. No.
Where'd I go? Where'd I had that hand? Right there, sir.
I love the Rebirth series, but I've actually kind of had a little bit of an issue with the way Barry has been brought back.
Okay.
It's great. He just kind of popped out in Final Crisis.
Right.
That was awesome. And then the Rebirth series is coming along. Maybe I just need to wait for the rest of it to finish, but it seems like when I can think of the Rebirth series, if you got to compare it to Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And in that one, Hal didn't show up as Hal fully until the middle of the book.
Right.
And Kyle was very instrumental in him coming back to being Hal. For me, it seems like Barry's a little bit been shoved into place as the Flash.
Right.
Wally's been kicked to the curb.
Right. A little bit.
You know?
A little bit. Just to give him some room. I mean, Joey, you know how the book turns out. I mean, where's Wally's role in the rest of the series?
Now you know that better than I do.
I know.
See Blackest Night.
Yeah, see Black.
Just kidding.
But here's the it's a great question what you're asking, because it's funny, because what you see is you see Green Lantern Rebirth and you see Flash Rebirth, and because of the name, it's the way they're titled, you think exactly the same thing. But in reality, they're two opposite books.
Well, yeah.
Two opposite books, two completely different takes. We always say that, with Green Lantern, with Hal Jordan, we were fighting to hold Hal Jordan back. He should be Green Lantern, and we were finding every reason not to put him there. But I always laugh about the Spectre. Where was the Spectre question before? When Hal Jordan was the Spectre, what was great? He had a Green Lantern symbol on his chest, right? And he had a mask, because, when you're dead, you don't want people to know that you're dead, right? And it's a green mask, too. So ultimately, we kept on embracing Hal. And I always said Hal Jordan as a character was never gone. You know what I mean? The core fell apart. So therefore, when Hal came back, he had to fix things. He had to fix his reputation. He had to rebuild the core. He had to rebuild what Green Lantern stood for as he remembered it to be. So that's what he came back to. With Flash, it's complete opposite. Wally was the perfect replacement. Everybody had moved on. So now it's not a story about somebody having to fix what was broken by his absence, but it's somebody who's coming back to see if he's relevant still. And why am I back? And that's a lot of the exploration of what Flash is about. It's a completely different take on it. So it won't play exactly the same way, but hopefully at the end, once it's complete, you'll feel the same level of satisfaction.
Well, it can, because, Barry's back for there's a nasty trick. Keep reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll all make sense.
It actually plays in. What I'm talking about plays into the story's about. But I understand what you're saying, but that's actually story points of what's going to be going on there. Because when we came and we sat down and everybody was talking about the book, that question came up over and over again. Why is he back? Besides the fact that we like him. It's not the reason why he's back. There's a reason story-wise why he comes back too. Okay?
You've been watching WGBS TV.